Hey, Goat Knucklers, it's Flo. Welcome back to Goat Knuckle Talk with Flo. Let me go and introduce you to my co-host Lisa Nolan Hafner. So it's a Sunday. It's football. But who do we have on our screen or in our show actually today?
We have a special show tonight. We don't have a single person from Plainview, Texas on tonight. So, welcome Jerry Branch, Stefan Hodge, Kelly Calvin, Chris Burtz, Pat Ford, and Tony Ellis. So, I'm going to call each one of you individually. Please tell me what high school you went to and what year you graduated, even though it's on some of your screens. So, Stefan, I'll start with you.
Okay, Caprock High School, 1982.
And where are you currently living?
I live in Mansfield, Texas.
Okay, that's outside of the Metroplex. Okay,
Correct.
JB, what about you?
Jerry.
I'm in Amarillo, Texas still. Left for about 4 years, but back here now and graduated Caprock High School in 1984.
Awesome, welcome. Kelly?
Thank you.
Yeah, I went to Amarillo High School, graduated in 1984. I'm now living in Spring, Texas.
Not too far from me. He's
Yeah.
about 40 minutes, 50 minutes from me.
Tony, nice to see you. Welcome back on our show. Remind us
Good to
again.
see you guys.
Yeah. Where did you
Tony
graduate?
Ellis, Amarillo High, 1984. I live in Crum, Texas.
Chris?
Chris Burtz, Amarillo High, 1982, and was in the Metroplex from about 1998 to 2020, 22, I guess, and then we moved back to Amarillo for grandkids. So we're back home.
That's a good reason to move back home.
It is. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
And last but not least, Pat.
Hey, everybody. Pat Ford, Tascosa High School in 1982. And I live right here in the New Braunfels, San Marcos, Texas.
Oh, cool. Well,
Okay.
guys, this is our baseball. Baseball ended last night. It sucked that the Dodgers won, but oh well. But hey, I'm going to start a little shit talking here. So I'm going to show you guys an image. So look at that. That's me in 1983. Look at those scores. I think Plainview was 7-2 against Amarillo my senior year. Sorry, Tascosa. What was that big ass score? 27-3. We beat you guys. No comments.
That was after us. So
Caprock we beat. So yeah, we were 7-2. So anyway, figured you guys could laugh at that. I don't hear anyone laughing.
No, it's funny, man, because it is what it is.
What year was that, Flo?
Flo?
It
What
was
year
in
was
80.
that?
It was in 1983.
Yeah, we all
lost-
gone. We gone.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, we
Well,
lost
I can-
Pat
I-
Williams. We lost
I
the
got-
greatest coach of all time,
Yeah,
Pat Williams.
I got the 82.
And,
Yeah, I can look at the scores there.
we had a JV football coach coaching our baseball that had all his JV football players. That's probably when you beat them. Our Caprock team.
Oh my gosh. Hey, so
Yeah,
when
we,
did
we
you
didn't
guys?
we didn't play against you guys when I was there.
You didn't? You didn't play Plainview when you were there?
No.
Oh, don't let me look. Don't
Not
let
in
me look,
82.
Stefan.
Hey, check his
Look,
score,
man,
Flo.
if
Check
you
his
did, I
score.
remember it.
I see
1980. I don't know, 80, 81. We played at at Plainview, and we were down a whole bunch and scored like 10 or 12 runs in the last inning. And we fired up that pitcher for Plainview. I don't remember who it was. He was a big stud, but it was one of the funnest comebacks I can remember.
What was the year? The
81.
80 or 81. I don't know which one it was. We were down in Plainview.
I don't know who was our stud in 88 because I started playing ball my sophomore year, which is 81.
I don't
I gotta
remember
look.
a few days back,
Okay, but go ahead, Lisa.
So while Flo's looking up some stats, when did you guys start playing varsity in high school, and how would you describe your experience as a rookie? And I'll start with Jerry.
So we didn't have freshmen in high school when I was there. So sophomore was our first year there. And I started varsity my sophomore year and with Stefan, who is a legend over there at Caprock. And we used to call sophomores, everybody, all the seniors got a mullet. So I was Stefan's mullet, had to carry his bags, had to do everything for Stefan. So that was the first year we played. I can still remember those double headers on Saturdays where the sun was shining about 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm a little 15-year-old playing outfield and hitting fly balls to me, and I lost a few in the sun. Stefan remembers the one at Emerald High very well. And facing Chris and guys like Ben, about 15 years old, and them dudes seemed like major leaguers to me at the time. But I think I held my own. Me and Stefan became really close. But I started my sophomore year on varsity after when I got to Caprock.
Cool. Stefan, let's go to you. What was your first experience as being a rookie?
It was my sophomore year. It was my sophomore year as well. We had a really good ball club, a lot of seniors. So I had to wait my turn that year. So I had to play JV. There's a story I like to tell. There was a guy on the outfield that was a right fielder, as a senior. And one day I watched this guy practice. I watched him every day. I ran faster than him. I had a better arm than him. In my opinion, I thought I hit better than him. But he was a senior. So I went to go talk to my coach. And I talked to my coach, which was Coach Williams at the time. I said, Coach, listen, no disrespect, but I think I'm better than this guy. I understand he's a senior, and I just think I'm a better ball player. You know what he told me? You're right. Now shut up and go sit back on the bench. You're not ready yet. True story. I'm not going to tell you the guy's name, but we ended up winning the district championship. We beat Amarillo High that year, my sophomore year, winning the district championship for Caprock.
Is that not crazy that Stefan Hodge was ever on JV to you guys? That's crazy.
No,
I didn't know that.
I thought he was always
I played
varsity as
some.
well.
I played some, but I didn't start. I played a little
Yeah.
bit. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. Well, that was a humbling
True story,
experience,
Chris.
I'm sure.
I'm sorry, what'd you say,
I
Lisa?
said, I'm sure that was a humbling experience for you.
It was, and he took the sting right out of my argument. He says, yes, you are, now shut up and go sit back on the bench and do what I tell you to do.
No comeback on that one.
No, I didn't have any comeback on. So
No,
true
what
story.
could you say after that? Tony,
Yeah.
what about your experience, your first year varsity?
Well, I was just a little kid. I was on the varsity as a sophomore, and probably the best baseball team I ever played on ever. When I was a sophomore, and I started at shortstop, and these guys were men, and I was just a little kid. But those guys treated me really well. We had a great team, great pitching. Got to play with Chris. I learned a lot from those guys, but it was a great experience. I loved it. I still think about it a lot. Those are some, like I say, some of the best baseball, the team I've ever been on, ever.
That was a fun year.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you were a sophomore, Chris was a senior?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, well then, Chris, you're next.
Hold on, guys. Let me show this. Periodically, we're going to have people making comments. So here's a comment from whoever this guy or girl, AKV. High. Well, anyway, you're a goat there, Stefan.
Go.
I don't know who. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
And then
But I
real quick,
the
then
com-
Melinda.
Appreciate the compliment.
Melinda Morales, Amarillo High people should know her. She mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, continue, please. Sorry, Lisa.
Yeah, so Chris, you're next. What was your experience like as a rookie varsity player?
Well, that was 1980, and we had a serious team at Amarillo High in 1980. Probably the best hitting team ever that I've ever seen. It was loaded with seniors. About halfway through the season, Pampa was really tough that year, and I got pulled up to play varsity because we're short. We really were pretty light on pitching that year. So they brought Ben Conley and myself up to be on varsity. And I got stuck in the play in Pampa after we were down about 9-0 and had to finish out the game. That was my first just introduction into varsity, and scared to death going out there thinking I was going to get lit up. And surprisingly, I finished the game and they didn't score on me. So I guess but we still lost the game, but it was an experience that I'll never forget. So
Yeah, trial by fire.
yeah. And as far as my senior year with Tony at short, we also had someone that's probably even shorter than Tony at second. And so we
You had to take a shot at Ivy, didn't you?
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to, Chris.
I didn't honestly indicate that was the rule. That was the rule. But no, we had a really good team that year.
Vance has never ridden a roller coaster in his life.
You know he's watching.
Yes.
That's not funny, Pat.
Oh my gosh. Well, Kelly, tell us about your experience.
I wasn't on varsity till my junior year. My sophomore year, Chris was there, that great pitching staff that they had. So, but I did the JV my sophomore year, and then came in as a starter my junior year. And honestly, we weren't that good our junior year because all of Chris's group left. I mean, we were a young team back then, so it was an experience.
So you were in the first year of rebuilding after a great team.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's kind of good because you're kind of making your own mark and not having to live under somebody's shadow, So it's good and bad, I guess.
Yeah, but it would be good to win some games though too.
Yeah, for sure.
Is Pat next? Yeah.
So it was my sophomore year as well. You look across the screen here, and there's a relatively common theme. These are some great guys and some fun teams back in the day that did really well. I believe my sophomore year, it's been a few years, but we had 6 or 7 sophomores starting on varsity my sophomore year. And I don't even remember what the scores were. Man, I finished school and moved on to close a book, and there's outside of Chris and Stefan, some guys that I was close to in college. I don't remember a whole lot. But I remember 6 or 7 of us starting as sophomores, and that was not a real pleasant experience that year. We'll talk about the senior year later sometime later, but we had a bunch of fun guys and didn't have any issues with the older upperclassmen or anything like that.
What about pitchers? Were there mostly sophomores, or did you have seniors or juniors?
Man, I can't remember who all we had. We had a lefty on our staff, Stacy Welburn.
Yep.
Jake Cleveland was our shortstop, quarterback, and pitcher, and he was the hardest thrower we had, probably one of the greatest athletes that's come through there in a long time. But it took us a while to get our feet underneath us and win some games our senior year.
Cool. Well, hey, JB mentioned about being the mullet. You other guys, when you joined the team your sophomore year or junior year, was there any hazing on you other guys? Pat, was there any hazing? I mean, well, there's a lot of sophomores, probably not, but
I don't remember. That doesn't mean it didn't happen, but maybe it's selective memory. I don't know.
So no, you don't remember a memory.
Nope, I don't.
They made you do anything, or okay. What about you, Chris?
I remember a spring road trip to Artesia, New Mexico for a tournament, and it was colder than crud out there. And the seniors kept threatening. I guess all the sophomores had to be in one room, hotel room, and they kept threatening us that they were going to come get us and throw us and break the ice out of the pool by throwing us in the pool. So, we're a little hesitant on even wanting to step outside. But when we finally did step outside for something, they had set a trash can up against the door filled with pool water. So that was probably the biggest hazing that we had. But it's kind of an initiation.
That's cool.
Our room was pretty well flooded that night.
What about you, Tony?
I don't remember any hazing. I know that kind of before the season started, we had some kind of party down in Canyon. I don't even remember why, but we all drove down there. And I think Vance Ivy threw me a beer going about 80 miles an hour down I-27, and I had to catch it like in a moving vehicle. So that was kind of cool.
That
But
was at the Paladin Club,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was at my parents' house. down there.
Okay.
The
Nice.
one that was out of district.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're gonna go there, Pat, huh?
No, I don't know a thing, man. I don't know a thing. Statute
Hey,
of limitations kicked in.
the transfer rule don't exist no more in Amarillo, so
No.
it's fine, even back then.
But I remember that. I mean, it really wasn't hazing. It was just kind of an introductory kind of deal. But those guys were cool to me. And again, I looked up to every one of them because they were, like Jerry said earlier, they were like major leaguers to me.
Okay. Kelly?
Well, I'm going to defer any hazing to Chris Birds because he was the one that was always riding my ass. Even though I wasn't on varsity, him and King, for some reason, were always all over me. So you always just had to, if you're going around the corner, you had to look ahead because you didn't know if they were ever going to do anything. But, Chris, I don't think you ever got me, though, did you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. You were a bully. You were a bully.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No, Calvin was 6'6" nerd, in his sophomore year playing with us. So he was still a little. He could throw hard, but man, it was like you never knew where it was going to go at the time, too. So
he was the original. Was it Nuke from Bull Durham? You're lucky that movie didn't come out when we were around. That would have been your nickname.
Yeah, I hit the roll a few
to give you
times.
an idea, we had a picture our sophomore year in American Legion, and he's like a head and a half taller than every single player on our team, and he's a sophomore.
Let's see. I think I have a photo.
Yeah, I still got that picture.
I think this is you guys. I'm not sure if.
No, that was 80. That was 82.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he wasn't on there yet.
He wasn't, but the 82 American Legion picture has it. So
okay, who was the
Yeah,
dude?
that's our 82 team. You can see how they're all men, and then I'm down in the lower right, and I'm just a little kid.
You're the bat boy. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
Who's
up
that
with
dude?
Odell's neck in that one?
Jeff Odell's doing bull neck.
Yeah, is that the guy, the third from the right on top?
Yeah, Jeff Odell.
and you had Mike and Pat Williams, the twins, that were pretty awesome athletes as well. So
Yeah,
Jeff Odell, one of the great humans in our life.
Yes.
Cool.
Love
Why
that
is
guy.
why is that, Jerry?
He just, man, with like Tony and Kelly on a small, I got to know Kelly through Colin Donovan, some basketball stuff and all that. We played against each other at basketball, but me and Tony really got to know each other after high school and after we got through with our college baseball. We played at softball together, and Jeff Odell joined us. He's just one of the great humans, man. Fun at all times, and just, I mean, if you knew Jeff Odell, you knew that, man, he's just a fun guy. Chris knows him probably better than me, and Tony does, but man, we spent about 6 years of great softball life just having a blast.
Yeah, if you want a guy on that can tell some stories, that'd be your guy.
Yeah, it's never a dull moment with Jeff around, that's for sure.
Never.
Okay, cool. Stephon, the GOAT. Did you get any hazing when you were a sophomore?
It was pretty much group hazing. It wasn't necessarily, one guy. We had some good athletes on my team, Todd Tenorio, Chico, Roger Leakey. They would act like they were going to haze you or do something stupid, but they never really did. So we never had to do, I don't know what Jerry's talking about, where he had to carry my bag, and I think he's just making
Dude, mullet? I wasn't your mullet. It
No,
wasn't bad stuff,
not
but
for
it was
sure where you
mullet.
got that
We were
from.
mullets for sure.
I guess is
called
mullet an
mullets for a whole
acronym?
year.
No, not anything specific. It's just a bunch of, we'd have to, clean up the field. We'd have to, mow, water. We had to do everything we had to do, but those guys get to go in. We take all the equipment in, but was kind of like group hazing. It wasn't nothing really specific.
Stefan's big brother was on his team too. Stefan's big brother was on that team.
Yeah,
Right,
he
Steph?
was. He was. Yeah, Winford was on that team. He was.
And who was the better player, you or your brother?
I was.
Yeah. I don't recall his brother, so that'll tell you something. I'm sure he was good, but Stefan was Mr. Caprock when I was there.
He was a shortstop as well. But what people don't realize that I didn't really play infield till I got to high school. I was coming up. I was a catcher and I pitched a lot and played a little bit of infield, but I was a catcher and a pitcher most of my, little league, going up to, middle school. And when I got to high school, I saw, I didn't want to do that anymore. And so they used me as a pitcher every once in a while. So I had to learn a new position. And that's kind of what I did. I wasn't a shortstop until really my senior year, because we had a stud shortstop with Todd Tenorio there. And so they moved me to third base because the third baseman had, graduated. And so I kind of got my footing there as a third baseman, and then eventually my senior year moved to shortstop. But I had to kind of play in the summer infield because I never really played that. Most people thought I played infield all my life, but I never really got to play infield to high school.
Great. Well, you just answered my next question, which I'm going to ask everybody else.
I'm
I said, you just answered my next question.
Okay.
About how you ended up playing the positions that you played. So I'm going to go on to the other guys. Like, when you got to varsity, did you try out for your position? Did your coach say, hey, you're better at this position? How did you end up playing the position that you played as a varsity player, Tony?
Well, when guys graduate, sometimes they find spots for you. And we had a good third baseman, so I moved there. And then, I was an all-district third baseman. Me and my buddy Greg Pfeiffer were kind of neck and neck for that position. And I think that probably the only reason I got it is I probably fielded a little bit better than him. I don't know. But that all-district position, we kind of went head and head. And he was a good ball player as well, wasn't he, Chris?
He was. He could hit a ball.
He could. I didn't say I could hit better than him, but like I said, I was probably a better fielder.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you were excellent in fielding. You robbed of many normal base hits. Let's put it that way.
I stole a couple from Pat. He probably don't remember it, but I did steal a couple base hits from him.
All right, Tony, what about you? As Lisa was asking you, what position did they start you at when you made varsity or started varsity?
I was a shortstop, always have been, always played the position. I think Freddie Sanchez was the shortstop at Amarillo High, and he graduated. And Coach Jones called me up one time and says, "You're going to be our starting shortstop." And I go, "What? Like, really?" So it was kind of a shocker, but I was always an infielder. Pretty much, that's really the only position I ever played.
Okay.
Cool. Kelly, how about you?
I was primarily a pitcher. I dabbled at third base until we got to Amarillo High, and that field was so crappy, and you just beat up all the time. I said, I'm done. I'm going to focus on pitching. So that was going to be my primary spot there.
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
They didn't put you at first base? They're so tall?
I did play a little bit there, but I was mainly a pitcher.
Okay.
He was afraid he was going to get a ball in his face. So.
Oh, it probably would have improved this right here, but I wasn't afraid of that. It was just – you come out of that third base spot, Tony can vouch for it. It was terrible at shortstop. You'd be black and blue just from fungos because all the football trenches that were in that field.
Absolutely. It's probably the worst baseball field in the history of baseball. I know I got my ear split open a couple of times.
Yeah.
On your head.
I mean, I see these kids now on the fields they play on, and it's unbelievable. And I tell people, we played out in a pasture, and it was pretty much true.
Yeah.
We had probably the worst field of anybody in the district, anywhere where I ever played.
in
You know, we
Texas.
played through snow and all that too.
Yeah.
So remember, we're some weird games where you'd have the way you'd find the ball out in the outfield is to follow the trail where the
Yeah.
ball went through the snow.
Jeez.
I remember they used to have us get out there early and roll the snow off the dirt.
Yeah.
So we could see the base paths and the pitcher's mound and all that.
That's crazy.
I remember there was a lot of dust games we had up north.
Yeah.
Jeez, I mean, there were times. There's one game in particular that I couldn't see my outfielders. I mean, I was a pitcher and then a relief pitcher, so I was on a bench. I look out there, I couldn't see the guys. It was so damn dusty.
Yeah.
And then we still played through that. So
That's why they called us the Sandies.
yeah,
The joys of playing in West Texas.
Yep.
Chris, how about you?
Okay. What was the question again?
what position did you start as a senior?
I've always been a left-handed pitcher. I played outfield quite a bit in growing up and through junior high, and even played a little bit of outfield. I guess it was my junior year at Amarillo High, and I think they finally just said, you know what, why don't you have a seat? You're a pitcher. So
You were showing off your wheels, so they said, "No, let's not do that. Let's keep you on the mound."
yeah.
Well, cool.
Pat, what about you?
Man, I played second base as long as I can remember. So I started at second my sophomore year, and that's where I stayed all 3 years. And I think I played 1 year in junior college with Chris up in Liberal. I played third base, but second base is where I landed and stayed.
Okay, very cool.
So you were quick, weak arm, and short, right?
That's a pretty good picture. a good enough arm, but third base was not as fun.
He did very well third base at college. So
Yeah,
That's cool.
he was an excellent second baseman as well. You
Yeah, but
didn't see very many balls go through Pat Thor's legs, that's for sure.
Now, I just thought of something. Thank you, guys. I thought of something pretty funny. I'm taking a little bit of a side note here. So, I think I only missed one game in high school, and I had this sweet thing. I met snow skiing, and she was from Colorado, outside of Denver, and so I decided I was going to finish the game, and I was going to go up for a long weekend. I was going to go skiing. Well, the game got canceled because of bad weather. Well, I took off, right? Well, they played it the next day, and I didn't know about it. And so I get back the next weekend. The coach asked, "Where you go?" And I said, "Game was canceled." He goes, "Yeah, we played it the next day, and you weren't around. So sent the bench this game."
Thank God we didn't have
Hey,
cell
Pat, what
phones
was your
back
head
then.
coach's name?
And no turf fields either. They played it the next day. That's crazy. Stan the fundamental man.
Stan the man. Yep, that's true.
At least you didn't get kicked off the team.
No, Coach Moore was that's another question down the list. Coach Moore was a great man. I have the utmost respect, still do, for him. And we had a good relationship, but I got my due, and it was well deserved.
Okay. So Stefan, were you asking a question?
No, I was going to ask him what was his head coach's name. I couldn't remember what the head coach's name was.
Stan Moore.
Stan Moore, that's right.
All right, JB, what about you, man?
Man, I just, when you grow up, I mean, all these guys that know it's not like today with travel teams, pickup teams, club teams. I mean, you played with your neighborhood, maybe about 5 or 6 schools you combined, played a little wide ball. I was a catcher and pitcher. Me and Scott Burr traded off every game. We pitched and catch. So I get up to high school, and I could play any position, but so we had a catcher named Mark Dommie in my grade, and that's all really he could do. He was a really great guy, great catcher. So I ended up playing a little shortstop, but varsity-wise, as a 15-year-old, I played outfield for Stefan and them. I never played outfield in my life, but they got me in there somewhere. So mostly a catcher my whole life and pitcher. And then my senior and junior year, I played a little short pitcher. You know how you get when all your pitchers flake out that were great when they're sophomores. And then by your senior year, where they at? So played a lot of short and pitcher. He was trading off with another friend of mine, Hondo McKinney, and we pretty much, that's how it was. You had, but I learned every position, to be honest.
Well, that
Okay.
makes you a more valuable player too.
Utility
Yep.
player.
Yep.
So, hey, you guys mentioned fields, and I talked to a couple of you guys. You know, the one thing about Amarillo baseball fields is you guys had a corner in the center. I think most of the schools did. I mean, it was like 500, maybe almost 600. Who had the deepest center field?
Amarillo High.
Oh, Amarillo High by far.
Without a doubt.
Was it?
There's probably not another ballpark in the
It wasn't even
nation.
round. It was
Well,
Well,
that
to
big.
be honest,
well.
though, they were all built kind of like that in our
Yeah.
day. I mean, they all went to like a little corner
Mhm.
center field. Every field were terrible, and like your right field was into the neighborhood, just a fence around the football field, the JV sophomore field, the left field at Caprock. Stefan, you remember? Tennis courts were our left center field, and we had a temporary fence in left field. So, but yeah, they were
I
all
want to
just
say
built to the wall.
I'd rival Paladura's field. That I remember that thing
Yeah.
was ridiculous how far it was dead center.
Yeah, it was crazy. All the fields were built crazy. They were JV sophomore football fields.
Mhm.
During the fall and during the spring, we got to play baseball there.
Yeah.
So
But
how
Kelly,
many?
what did they
great-
measure? What did they measure? I think when we played, it was measured at 556 in
That's
center.
crazy.
Yeah,
But
I was thinking 563 for some reason.
Yeah, and I think they remeasured it like later, and it was like 602.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe that for sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder how many in the park home runs they were.
Yeah.
It was
Seriously.
there were fields that were not really great for pitching staffs. You know,
Well, Amarillo back in the 80s was definitely a big time football town.
oh yeah,
So baseball was secondary or third, I guess. It was down at the bottom. So they're just like put some bases out there and play, and we did it.
Yeah, I just remember those deep ass
is true.
fields, man. And I think I was talking to Jerry and Tony. You mentioned this too, the last podcast about our stud Willie Ansley, who connected like 500 plus. Tony said you were there watching your.
I was
brother
at the
play?
game. My brother was actually playing, my little brother.
Yeah.
And he hit one over. He hit it into right center over Bell Street. So it was right center completely over the street. So it was pretty impressive.
Cool. Yeah.
Were the bases stacked? Do you remember?
What was that?
Loaded? Were they loaded?
Were the bases stacked?
You know, I think they had a runner on, maybe two, and apparently he had spilled some water on himself or something in the dugout, or I think somebody told me he may have pissed himself. I don't know. But the Amarillo kids were making fun of him and taunting him, and everybody's like, "Don't you do that!" And then next pitch, he hits it.
Yeah, he pissed on
550
something.
feet. Yeah,
He pissed on something, that ball.
yeah.
Well, he was on our show about a year ago, and he did say he pissed at himself because he had to.
Somebody had
really,
mentioned that.
He did. He had to really go, and he was in center field. And he was cussing out his pitcher because he kept throwing balls. He's like, "Throw a fucking strike, throw a strike," and then he had no choice. He's relieved himself, and then went in the dugout. The guys just threw water on his pants just to make him think that he spilled water on him. So, no, he did tell us he had to go, and he went.
He had an emergency.
Yeah, you're not a top 6 pick in the major league draft for no reason.
No,
Right.
you do what it takes.
So, Amarillo guys, who was your rivalry in there in Amarillo, or who's the one you wanted to kick their ass pretty bad? Kelly or Chris, you're laughing. You go.
well, naturally, Amarillo High and Tascosa always had this rival from every sport possible. I hated throwing to Tascosa. They had my number. So, from Jay Cleveland to Elliott to Pemberton, they were loaded with hitters, and they knew me. Now, my favorite team probably to pitch, and I'm sorry, Stefan, but Caprock. I definitely loved pitching against them. That was probably personally my favorite rival. And it was a rival because really all three teams that through our high school years were loaded. And it could have been any one of those teams winning each and every year.
Cool. What about the other Tony or Kelly? What do you guys? Same thing, Tascosa?
Well, for me personally, I mean, everybody was a rival because Amarillo was real small back then. So we grew up playing, basketball against each other, football, baseball, ran track against each other. So but it really as a pitcher, it wasn't a team. It was like JB, Arthur Guerrero, Oscar from Palo Duro. You look for certain players, and Brewer. I always had something against Scott Brewer. I always want to try to get him out or come in high and tight, either or. But it really wasn't a team. It's just certain players. You'd say, yeah, we competed. He's a monster. I'm going to get him and that type of thing.
Okay, Tony.
Well, naturally, you would say Tascosa, but all the teams in Amarillo were so good when that one year that every game was like a rivalry game with those guys. Loaded with talent, like Chris said. They had pitching, they could play defense, they could hit the ball. So those double headers we would play. Against every school, big time. Big time rivalry, not just with Tascosa, but everyone, because everybody was so good.
I'll tell you another team that was tough, but not in our district, was Canyon.
Yeah, we played a lot of summer ball against a lot of those guys, and then kind of developed a little rivalry with Canyon.
Yep,
because they had some really talented players.
They did.
I was a pitcher in high school, and I never gave up a home run until we played Canyon. And I hung
in the walling comes to mind.
He just took it out deep left. I'm like, son of a bitch. There goes my crusade.
Tony and Kelly probably remember our senior year. Dale Bostic, Ron Bostic, and Dale Holligan. Them guys were studs, man. Landing now. Canyon was studs, man.
All right, JB, what about you, man? Who'd you look for playing against?
It was just, our life changed after my sophomore year. We lost the best coach probably in the history of Caprock, Pat Williams. Stefan will tell you that. He was a serious business baseball guy, Oklahoma State guy. Loved him, man. You felt like you were playing for a major league manager. And then we moved in, hired a coach just from the JV football. Great guy, nice guy, just never was the same. But they also moved us into a 9-team district from our 5-team district. We had the Amarillo schools in Pampa my sophomore year. And then they moved to Monterey and Coronado, Hereford, Plainview, 9-team, and only 2 teams make the playoffs. But I can just tell you, I think Tascosa, because those guys we grew up playing Y ball. I want to Austin Shires and all them guys. They Brad Pemberton, obviously a stud from the beginning of day.
Yeah.
They showed up to a summer league game where we were 9th graders, and we're both undefeated. They shaved all their heads, and they were pretty hyped, and we put it on them that year. But I think Tascosa. I think that was more of a rivalry because we knew all those guys. They were friends of ours, and that was fun, man. They were great ball players, and Tony and all them guys too. But we just never could get over Tony and them at Amarillo High. But I think Tascosa was our more natural rivalry because we knew all those guys from summer leagues growing up.
Nice. Pat, what about you, brother?
Man, the irony of my distaste for Amarillo High School ended with us living a block behind Amarillo High School for 10 years, my last 10 years in Amarillo. So there was quite a bit of irony in that. I'd have to drive by that baseball field multiple times a day. I played football as well at Tascosa, and so football and baseball, that was a rivalry in my eyes, and it wasn't much to it from my standpoint. We didn't have much success against them. But yeah, Amarillo High was our rivalry. I know our senior year, man, Chris, you guys maybe help me. I know we had those double headers were fun days. I miss those double headers. Now the kids are so soft, they can't do double headers anymore. But I remember that first double header. It was 2 close games. We lost both of them. And the last game of the year. I think it was the last game. We came back and beat them. So they were, if I'm somewhat close, 11-1, and we were 10-2, and that's when they only took one team to district.
Yep.
And so Amarillo High got that year. It was a great year, and there's a great intense rivalry because I just didn't like Amarillo High School. Right, I'm a football guy, and then the fun part about that was. JB, you're talking about these names that you just mentioned. Two of those dudes, Canyon, were on my team at Hardin-Simmons. Man, Chris, was there 4 or 5 of you guys that we played together as teammates in Liberal?
There was, yeah. There was Freddie Sanchez, their first year. He was there for a while. Then we had Mike Pat Williams.
Yep. Mike,
you and I. Clyde Artis from Belladura.
Yeah. So there was a lot of neat guys that I got to spend several years with in college. Chris and I played together in Liberal, and then we got to finish our time at Hardin-Simmons together with Greg Pfeiffer as well. And so, you learn when you get past that graduation day that there are some pretty good people out there that go to other schools. And always loved the Caprock boys, man. Those are some good dudes, some very competitive dudes, and with Stefan, and I can remember I was thinking about this Stefan, man, Ricky Sestedo and you and Scott Tankersley, the Tank, and we had some fun. We played together some together on summer leagues as well, and so those are some good times and good people that it's great to see y'all's faces today.
Cool, Stefan. What about you, man? Who's your team?
I agree with Chris. We had a rivalry with those guys, and we loved playing them, and we play them tough. Majority of the time, they came out on top. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, Chris was probably the best pitcher in the district my senior year. He was tough to hit. It took me, and I faced Chris years. It took me my senior year finally to figure him out, how to hit Chris. And that was, if you get 2 strikes, don't swing at nothing above your hands. Because his ball moves so much that if you tried to pull it, it was a weak ground ball somewhere. So I finally realized that if I'm going to hit Chris Burst, I'm going to have to take the ball to opposite field, which I didn't like doing, but I have no choice. So I wanted to bat against Chris Burst. But no, I would have to say definitely Amarillo High. And it was kind of weird because we would beat Tascosa, then Tascosa beat the pants off Amarillo High. So it was weird like that. Now, Palo Duro would always have a pretty tough team. We would beat them, but I'm telling you, you'd be in a dogfight with them. Coach Williams over there had them ready to play, but it was fun playing against those guys too. I thoroughly enjoyed my high school years of playing against Chris and Pat. Of course, you throw Jay Cleveland and Elliott and those guys that Chris mentioned. Hey, man, any day you can get beat. If you didn't show up ready to play, you can get beat by any of those teams. Wouldn't you agree, Pat?
We lost you. You clicked your audio.
Sorry, I got a phone call. Yeah, you're exactly right, Stefan. Great people. Jay, I haven't seen Jay in forever. I don't even know where he's living now, but I'm with you, man. Some good people and good times.
Yep.
So I was going to ask, well, before I do that, let me bring another comment in. There's Angie Walks, 5 days. She's
Angie.
Yeah. So I guess she's Amarillo High.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to ask you a question there, Stefan. That was a part of the questions. Did you have any superstitions before, during the game? Like some players step over the foul lines, or when they go out, they touch first base. Did you have anything like that?
Were you talking to me, Flo?
Yeah, Stefan. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I was very superstitious. Very superstitious. So I'd have to take a shower right before the game. Before every game, I had to take a shower.
Regardless if it's a win streak or not.
I didn't like anybody touching my bats at all, or my glove. So those were things I just didn't allow people to do. That's just how I was that way when I played ball in college. The same way.
So did they touch your stuff? Who's that major leaguer that he didn't like his head touched?
Beltray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the players do stuff like that, touch your bat just to mess with you.
No, they didn't.
No, those superstitions are sacred in baseball.
They are.
You don't
They
mess
are.
with somebody else's stuff.
Yeah.
Even I know that.
Yeah, Flo, everybody's getting ready, getting dressed to go to the field. I'm in the shower. That's
Okay.
normally how that went.
All right. What about you, JB?
Not really superstitious. I just, man, I don't know. I just never wore batting gloves to hit or play. Never wore a batting glove in my life. I know that's kind of weird back in the day with the way the bats were and stuff, but mostly just didn't wear batting gloves, but not many superstitions. They used to call me Roy McCoy because I'd always be watching the weather and telling them the weather. We'd be looking at the clouds, and anybody from Amarillo knows about Roy McCoy. I'd look up in the sky and say, "Oh yeah, we're good, and everybody used to crack on me for being Roy McCoy, the weather guy. But no superstitions really.
So why didn't
Hey,
you wear your
wasn't
batting gloves? Oh, go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
I just
didn't
never
Roy
had.
didn't he have the prodigy Chad Fox that was supposed to be like the next Sandy
That was his
Koufax?
stepson. Yeah, that was his
We used to
stepson.
rip his tits, man. He'd come out in the summer ball.
Yeah, they
and they
did
said he was
for you,
unhittable.
for you
Man,
guys
we'd run
that
him
don't know
off in
this
an
story.
inning.
For you guys that don't know this story, Chad Fox, they did a big article. He's a world class gymnastic off trampoline for sure. But they did a story on him. They threw 93 miles an hour in seventh grade, and they did that. That's what Tony's referring to. And then, like the next day on Tuesday night, he's throwing like 75 or ripping shots at Thompson Park on him. But I don't know where that story came from, but he was throwing 93 in seventh grade. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Hey, and we're not petty at all, are we, Tony?
No, never.
Kelly, what about you, man?
Oh, I'm very superstitious. If I had a good game, I wouldn't wash the clothes that I wore. I'd wear the same undershirt, shorts, socks. I'd do the whole thing. So yeah, it's pretty grimy when I played at high school. All the players sat at the other end of the dugout because I stunk because I had the same shirt on so many times, so many games. Never step on the line. If you can think about superstition, my name's going to be right there.
Yeah, and your mom never washed your clothes
No,
accidentally?
I hid them. I had to hide them. She's always, "Where's your stuff at?" And I'm like, I left them. Don't worry about it.
That was a whole Amarillo High thing. When we went on a win streak, nobody washed anything. Period. And we went on what our junior year. I think it was a 16-game win streak. So that was really nasty.
Well, there was something else that I heard that you guys would do on a win streak.
Yeah,
I heard about it.
I hesitate even talking about it, but
Let's hear it, man.
Here, you got to say it now.
Tony.
all right. Well, we had a little ritual after a game where,
And you remember, kids and grandkids are watching this.
yeah.
I got to walk away
After
for
the
a
game,
second.
we would all get to the locker room, and it was just kind of a weird ritual of getting a piece of chalk on the chalkboard and marking our next mark of a win streak. But all of us were dancing and yelling and screaming, and we were all naked.
Yeah, Chris, I shared that on the last podcast.
Yeah.
I was hesitant. I was hesitant to do it, but
That was all I remember. One time was we were making so much noise from being way up there, like 16, and Dick Jones, our coach, decided to walk in to see what's going on in here, and he opened the door to the locker room and saw all of us doing what we were doing, and he just sat there and looked at us and just turned around and walked out.
When did that start? What year and who started it? Whose idea?
That was 1980. It may have started before that. I don't know, but 1980, that group was who started that, and then it just kind of continued on. It was just a weird, uncomfortable ritual.
You probably scared the shit out of him. He was probably thinking, "Oh my God, I walked into a scene of Lord of the Flies or something."
Well, I remember the first time I got pulled into that, and I was like, "What in the world is going on here?" What is this?
Next turn, your ass is taped with duct tape.
Yeah.
Let's see, Pat.
I don't know if I
No
remember
naked
high school.
stories, but superstitions.
I remember in college back in the day before Nike would embroider right and left on your sock, with an R and an L. I would get a Sharpie, and on my sanitaries, I'd make an R and an L, and I had to make sure I had the right socks on the right foot and the left foot.
Okay.
Do you still do that?
Well, no, and my socks don't even have the R and the L on them anymore. So I'm a switch hitter.
There you go.
It's not that
Let's
big a
see,
deal.
Chris.
Outside of what we talked about of going on a win streak and not ever washing a thing, that was really gross. But
Okay.
we all pretty much did that, and if it was found out that you did, it was not pretty for the rest of from the rest of the team.
Explain that.
Oh, you mean if you wash your uniform? And put it
Yeah,
on?
if you snuck in and washed your stuff, and the rest of the team found out about it, then you're.
What happened? So obviously it happened.
No, I'm not going there. There's a few things that was done, and I'm not going there.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Tony, you're the last one, I believe.
Yeah, all the superstitions for sure. I have a very strange ritual of putting my uniform on. It was a certain way, with the socks and the sanitaries and the stirrups, and they all had to be, left leg first, right leg first, rolled up perfectly in a certain way. And I'm still that way to this day. I mean, obviously I don't wear a baseball uniform anymore, but like putting my shoes on, left foot first, right foot, just, weird stuff like that.
Depends on what side of my back hurts, how I do it now.
There you
Yeah,
go.
true. Yeah, it's getting a little more.
Day or not.
It's getting a little more difficult.
Hey, how many ball players developed OCD from all of these habits, right?
Yeah.
A little neurotic is what I think it makes you become.
Yeah. We play senior softball now, so it's like put the cream on, put the shorts on, put the stretch me out. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we all I used to put a lot of Bengay because I was a pitcher, man. I used to put it on my right arm. I mean, I'd buy the tubes, a lot of it. So my clothes smell like Bengay every time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hey, a couple of you guys mentioned Liberal. Are you talking about playing for the Liberal BJs?
As the Seward County Saints, they had a junior college there,
Oh, okay.
and but yeah, I actually, Pat, did you spend any time with Liberal BJs? I pitched a couple of games there.
No, I didn't play those summer leagues. I just stayed in Amarillo, and
Okay, yeah,
I've got a lot of kids now in my college that I deal with. That a lot of our players have gone up to Liberal, and we get to talk about the cornfields and nothing else.
yeah.
Hey, Pat and Stefan, do you remember that we played with Potter Randall Age? We played a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
It was Earl Tankersley?
Yep.
Yeah.
That played at Liberal?
Well, we had Seward guys and other college places,
Okay.
but we had a summer league team that Earl Tankersley coached, and I was a senior in just graduated. I played with Pat and Stefan. We played some of those Liberal guys, the BJ guys.
Okay.
I got a funny Jerry Branch story about that, if I remember correctly.
Tell us.
Oh, shoot.
So I think we were playing one of the Hispanic teams there. I don't know if they were out of town or local or whatnot. Of course, I don't speak Spanish, and I think Jerry's on second base, and all of a
That
sudden
makes
the
two of
catcher
us,
says
by the
something
way.
to the second baseman, and Jerry obviously it was, hey, I'm going to throw down. And Jerry obviously speaks Spanish, and as soon as the catcher got the ball, he took off, stole third base, and looked at this, then said something in Spanish to the catcher. So that was kind of my Jerry Branch story about bilingual action there on the ball field.
Yeah, I'm the original Vadio white boy.
Yeah. That's probably the first time Jerry Branch stole a base.
what? That's
Hey,
I was wondering, Jay, you stole the base?
I hit a lot of home runs, Steph, though.
Okay.
I guess they called you Weddle.
Miklo.
Nicola, oh, from that Blood In, Blood Out movie.
Even before that movie.
No shit.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
For
wow.
those of you guys that were pitchers, we talked a little bit about rivalry, but those of you that were actually pitchers, is there a player that you just were ready to
Strike
face
out. Yeah.
to strike out? Yeah. I mean, that was your nemesis.
Kelly.
For me, it's always Scott Brewer. JB can vouch for this. Going back to like 7th grade, man, he had a mouth on him, and hell of an athlete in all sports. But he was always talking the whole time, like Pac-Man, waka 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 waka. So it's like JB, or when you face Scott, it's like, okay, I got to shut his ass up real quick.
Well, Kelly, did you ever intentionally hit him?
I never intentionally hit anybody in my lifetime, and I'm going to my grave on that one.
Hey, I can speak on Scott Brewer, one of my oldest best friends since 10 years old. I get it where he's coming from.
All right, Chris, about you, man. You're a pitcher.
Probably my biggest rival was Kendall Walling. He and I just somehow back then we didn't like each other, and he didn't like me. I didn't like him, and it was pretty even on. Now the balls that he hit off of me are probably still rolling. He hit some shots, but I had a few strikeouts on him as well. So, but as far as just within our district, Stefan was definitely always one that I loved just battling. It was always a battle with him. I don't know how many foul tip balls that guy had off of me too. He would wear you out.
I bet. Well, Stefan, let's go the other way. What pitcher gave you a hard time, or you love going to just hitting off him every time he pitched to you? Chris?
I didn't love hitting off Chris Burts, that's for sure. So let's get him out of the way. He was tough. I would probably say that I love going against. Man, that's a tough one. I can't think of anybody. I would say Kendall Walling. Kendall Walling was, threw hard. He got drafted by the Angels. I don't remember if it was for outfield or I can't remember what it was, Chris, but he got drafted. But he was pretty tough, and he did a lot of talking.
Yeah,
he bumped his gums a lot, and we were playing one night. It was probably about 14, 15 innings at that old Gold Sox stadium. I don't know if you guys remember that or not.
Oh yeah.
But he was scratching, around the mound, talking a lot of, smack, and I got him in a pitcher's count, 3-1. So I kind of dug in, and I hit a ball that just disappeared into the evening. There was a walk, my first big, huge walk-off on him. So, and ever since that day, every time I faced him, I got a lot of chin music from that guy. So, but probably Kendall Walling.
Okay.
I think one of the only times that we ever had the dugouts emptied was Canyon. Just those guys they were tough.
They were tough, man.
Tony.
But he was one of their top pitchers too. You remember him, Chris?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Tony?
Yeah, that would probably be Kendall Walling.
Okay. Go ahead, Tony.
I have no idea. I was just trying to get a base hit, man.
Same.
That's it.
Just trying to put it in play. Get a base hit.
JB?
Man, senior year and junior year, you feel pretty confident, but man, the only thing that we really were, because we beat Tascosa, Hereford, PD, we beat them twice each that year. But, PD, they had every starter back from our junior year. And so they got picked second in the district. And they went, I was like, well, dude, they finished last with that same team. And so me and the PD guys are really good friends. So that was part of our rivals because they got kind of the big head. They played summer league with us. Stefan used to coach us in summer league after he graduated. And so that was probably our rivals just because they were all bad, but they weren't very, they were my buddies, but they're probably PD guys. But sophomore wise, facing guys like Chris Burtz and them varsity pitchers, man, I had no chance.
Okay. Pat?
Well, any hit against the Sandy was a good hit. They just didn't come as much as I wanted. And, you know, like Chris, all of us here, we played against each other growing up and played against Chris and Ben Conley forever. And both those guys, lefties are always, you know, used to think it was you want to hit against a lefty, but it never was, you know, a lot harder than it sounds. And Ben Conley always had a great curveball, straight 12-6, big time breaking curveball. So those two guys were always a challenge, but always a pleasure when something did go right.
Okay. Hey, I want to bring in Lubbock. I know 83, I think that's when they did the realignment, but
Yeah.
82 guys. Did you guys ever face Coronado, Lubbock High, or Monterey? I'll start with Chris. And if you did, what do you remember a game or?
Yeah, we played for the district. By district, we played Coronado in '81, I believe, and then it was Monterey '82, and both of them were just really difficult teams. Monterey, in particular, they were one of those teams that knew how to pounce on any mistake you made, period. And, you know, Bobby was quite a coach there, quite a legend. Steve Coleman was catching. He's quite a legend for Monterey. And, yeah, that guy intimidated me. He was quite a pitch or quite a catcher and quite a batter. So he definitely could hit the ball.
Oh yeah. But Pat, did you ever have the privilege to play against any Lubbock teams?
I think the only time we played Monterey, I remember, was I think maybe my sophomore year. We were at a tournament in El Paso, and we played Monterey in a tournament there. But I don't think we played them in non-district. We didn't obviously win the districts. We didn't play them in post-district.
Okay. JB?
Yeah, Kelly and Tony will tell you they did us no favors after our sophomore year. They put both those guys in. Monterey won state one year and got second the next year. Actually, I know this sounds so arrogant, but our last game of the season, our junior year, I hit a home run, tied Monterey 8-8. They ended up beating us. Def Leppard concert was that night. And Crocus, I know Tony and them probably remember those days. That's why it stands out. But, man, Mike Eccles, Billy Lance, I mean, studs. I mean, just Coronado. I mean, they did us no favors by moving us in that district. I can tell you that. Without those guys, and I get Amarillo High probably would have won district that year, to be honest with you. And we'd been right up there. But, yeah, them Lubbock guys were studs, Coronado and Monterey. But definitely Monterey was a step above. Great guys. Enjoyed playing against them. But yeah, definitely they were the stud of the districts.
Yep.
Kelly?
Yeah, well, like JB said, it's a race to finish second because Monterey was always going to be number one. So you're fighting for that, you know, that second spot right there. And you know, baseball was so even back then. It was really came down to who had the better coach. Typically was going to win a lot of the games, and that's where Monterey Coronado kind of separated themselves from, you know, hitting behind the runners and stuff like that on the right times. And, you know, that and one year, Tony, how bad did Monterey beat us? I mean, it
was our senior year, and Bobby Magel got his 800th career win, 700 or 800. And we played down there in Lubbock, and they beat us 23-0.
Yeah.
Was
that's
Kelly
pretty
pitching
ugly.
that game?
Were you pitching, Kelly?
Not that game. No, but I tell you, I think it was Tony. You might remember this. I think it was Coronado where I was throwing a pretty darn good game against him, and then guy hit a line drive off my kneecap that went over the dugout. He got a ground rule double. I wound up on the first baseline. I couldn't play for about 5 games after that because he gave me.
I ended up coming in and pitching that game.
Was that Coronado?
Yeah, at Coronado. We almost got him.
Yeah.
But I was just throwing knuckleballs just whatever. They ended up coming back and beating
Slow
us.
pitching
But
softball.
we never beat Coronado or Monterey ever.
So did you throw uphill, or I'm as short as you are, trying to figure out how that would work?
Man, I'm not that short. You're thinking about
I think
Ivy.
your height, Chris, if I remember
Back
right.
then you were.
And I was taller than Ivy.
Well, heck, anybody's taller than Ivy.
Yeah, Ivy was 4'9". Come on.
How about you, Stefan? Did you get a chance to play those boys?
We
Any?
played them in 1980 when we won the district championship, and we pretty close game. But yeah, they were pitching defense like Chris mentioned. They didn't miss a ball, and we made some mistakes that cost us. But that's the only time we ever played them, except for summer ball. They'd have a team that they would have a bunch of guys from Texas Tech and LCC. They put together a summer ball team. We played them then, but I only played them once, and they were really good, really good.
Yeah, Magel and Dudley, they were damn good coaches for those programs. One thing we could say, our junior year, you guys mentioned the double headers. Monterey came to Plainview to play us, and we beat them both games. That's the first time in Plainview history we beat Monterey in a double header. And Magel either ran them or they practiced after we beat them there.
I was going to say you probably made him run back to Lubbock.
Yeah. And then, Stefan was at Howard. I went there to try to walk on my freshman year, and he was a sophomore. Well, Rick Dillman and Doug Hatch were there from 82 from Monterey, and they told me, as soon as they got to Lubbock, man, they says, nope, you guys head out, and they ran until it got dark, and he said they crawled back in and took their shower. So, yeah, it was a big thing for us to beat them in a doubleheader. So, it was
big thing.
Do I know?
I said it for sure was a big thing because they'd won state the year before.
Yeah. I mean, we played them all the time. So, I mean, we're 40 minutes north of them. So, there were some good players. I remember seeing Coleman and who's the other pitcher? Who's the lefty? 81, I think. He went to play in the pros. Oh, but anyway, he was damn good as well. But, but I just remember the haircuts. It was like military style.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of guys on, Kent Metter and Kent Parr. They were on, and then Kent Parr says, yeah, man, every Friday you have to go to his office, to Magel's office, and if your hair wasn't short, you wouldn't play. And your shoes had to be shined, too. He goes, we had to, he goes, a couple of times they had to skip class just to get the haircut. Magel was tough. So, anyway, hey, the next question, we wrote it, but then Angie asked this question. So, let me start with the Amarillo High guys. Tony, what was your best memory from playing in high school?
Thank
you.
Are we talking just baseball?
Yeah. This is baseball. Let's talk about baseball.
I think when we won district my sophomore year and we played Coronado, and they beat us at Amarillo High. I think it was 11-7 or something like that. And then we went down there and played them at Tex Field, and they beat us 3-2. And man, what a great ball game that was! And I just always remember that. Such a great ball game against them. I thought we had them. Wasn't meant to be.
All right, Kelly.
Mine's more off the field, more the camaraderie. There's some of these like Chris and them, I didn't see them for 30 years. And then when first time you see each other, I mean, it's start giving each other shit again like we did, back in the day. So it's just kind of more of that growing up with, Tony playing with him, with Chris and them, and just some memories going off of that right there.
Well, definitely I can understand the camaraderie because you guys were naked, man. You guys were getting naked.
Now, if you want to talk golf, we can get on Bert's real quick. Tony and I can have a story on Bert's real quick. And I got videos to prove it.
I have videos too, dude.
All right, Chris, what's a good memory from high school besides the tradition of street
One comes to mind with Caprock. We were in a really tight game, and I went out. I was really erratic that day. I was kind of erratic most of the time, but that day I was really erratic, and I walked 3 in a row. And Dick Jones walked out and said, "What's going on here? You know, this isn't helping anything." And walked back to the dugout, calmed me down, and then I struck 3 out in a row. And all I remember was going back to the dugout, and anybody that knew Coach Cobb at the time, he kind of looked at me and said, "Bertz, do you know what a direct line is?" And he said, let's there's a lot shorter way to get the results that you just had than, instead of walking 3. So anyway, that was always
if that was your
kind of a
senior
funny
year,
moment. But
if that was your senior year at Amarillo High, to Stefan's defense, it probably wasn't the top of the order. It's probably a 15-year-old striking out in the bottom of the order. So you're welcome.
Well, you're speaking. What about you? What's a good memory?
Man, I mean, probably the best memory. I mean, high school was that game against Monterey. They're the studs of the state. We're just hanging in there for some reason, and it's all of a sudden like 8-7, bottom of the 9th, and I did hit a home run to left with our temporary orange mesh fence in left field, and they ended up beating us 10-9. So that was a great memory. But to be honest, my sophomore year was probably Steph knows I'm a baseball guy. My late dad was a baseball guy, and we had a pretty stud sophomore pitchers, right, Steph? I mean, we had 3 of them: Kenny Avery, Darren Lyle, Scott Brewer. They were all studs, man. And then we get to our senior year, and we lost Coach Williams, and we got a football coach. And man, I'm a baseball guy. Mark Domey's a baseball guy, or Joey Hall's a baseball guy, and none of them guys cared, man. They all flaked out and didn't do anything. And so my best memories playing that sophomore year was Stefan and Scott Tankersley, Rick Sestata, Flake. I mean, just them guys are just good guys, man. I mean, and they took baseball for baseball, man. And that just, my last 2 years of baseball was like, what could have been.
Wow. I will. He brought up Scott Tankersley, and I want to just comment on him too. One of the most respected guys in our entire district, and just what he overcame, to play the sport, and the umps knew him well, and they respected him for playing. For those that you don't know, he was deaf, and he had a system, and it was amazing to watch him go talk to an umpire that didn't know him, and to ask them, "Would you please tap me on the shoulder on the left if it's a strike, and on the right if it's a ball?" But he gained respect so much from anybody and everybody that watched and played ball. Just a great guy.
I'd like to add to that. So I'm on the Panhandle Sports Hall of Fame committee, and we put Scott in this year.
Yes, we did.
But it's not because of baseball only. He was a 8-time state champion wrestling coach, softball, multiple regional championships. I mean, just a legend in this area. I mean, and Pat knows him well. I mean, Pat's worked with FCA and all that. And Scott was one of a kind, man. He still one of a kind. Damn, he ain't died.
Yeah, he's still alive.
He's still around.
Sorry about that.
Hey, Pat, you're unmute your mic and go ahead. What about you, man?
I was going to say you hadn't lived with Scott unless you went onto the movies with Scott, a deaf guy sitting next to you, and he's keeping the beat with the bass of the music, and then he'll turn around and how Scott would talk, real loud, because he didn't know how loud he was. What did they say? What did they say? And that was a hoot to spend some time with Scott in the movies.
Oh, wow. That's your memory? That's cool. That's a good memory.
Well, that's one. I mean, I'm going to be like with Kelly, man. The people that we played with, my coach, Coach Moore, he's a great highlight of my 3 years there. And I just saw Stacy Welber. He lives in Childress. I just saw him a few weeks ago when I went up to see my kids and grandkids up there in Childress, and I got to see Stacy and hang out a little bit. And they're just some great guys, and the camaraderie is always hard to beat. Guys, like you look across the screen here, and high school and college, some of these guys, Stefan and those Caprock guys, it was just people are important.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What about you, Stefan?
I'd like to chime in on Scott Tanksley. He's probably one of my best friends. Known him since we were in 8th grade. All the things those guys said about him is absolutely true. And when I come in town, he's probably the only guy I call when I'm in town.
What?
Visiting my
What?
grandkids. I don't have a whole lot of time.
What the heck? You called
you
Hey,
me?
JB, now you know where you stand.
Wow, he calls me.
You're still that
hey,
15-year-old
between
kid.
You and my grandkids, you're gonna lose every time, man. I'm sorry, but no, he's just. I mean, I've known him for so many years and played ball with him, and his dad Earl, who coached us in the summer leagues. If you remember him, Chris and
I
Pat.
do.
Great coach, great human being. But yeah, I mean, a solid guy. Like I said, still one of my best friends today. But as far as a memory is concerned, I'm like Pat. I don't really have just one that I can think of. Because I've had so many great memories playing ball in Amarillo. Not one stands out. I guess if there was one, you might know this guy, Chris. You remember you guys had a pitcher by the name of Scott Lester.
Yep.
You remember that
He
guy?
was 81 was his senior year.
Yeah. Well, I guess I was a freshman or sophomore. My brother used to tell me about, man, we got to face this guy named Lester. He's tough. He's this, he's that, and I'm like, okay. I mean, he's the only guy my brother talks about as far as being, worrying about a pitcher. Well, my junior year, I got to face this Scott Lester. And I watched him warm up, and probably my first time coming up the bat, I think Greg Pfeiffer was playing third base, Chris. I'm not for sure, but I think he was.
Whitey.
Anyway, Greg threw me a fastball, the first pitch, and I laced it, and Pfeiffer didn't even move. He didn't even see it. And so I got to second base. And my brother was out in the stands, and that's probably first time in my life I've ever made a gesture to him. I just kind of shrugged my shoulders at him. That was it. Like, this is the guy you keep talking about. It's funny, Chris, but and he was a good pitcher. I just got the best of him that day.
Yeah.
That's all.
He was kind of a silent but deadly guy. He didn't say much, but he would go out there and just win games. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got the best of him that day, Chris. That's all.
Well, I want to start.
But that's it, Flo. I mean, like I said, a lot of memories, but that's the only one that
That's cool.
kind of, I guess, stands out.
Well, I want to start with Kelly on this one. We have those ESPN moments, highlights, or, back then we had cell phones. Is there a play you can think of, either you did it or a teammate or another player, that you wish you had a cell phone that captured on video? Well, after Kelly, we'll definitely ask Chris because he's shaking his head. So,
I mean,
yep. Yeah, I mean, is there just an amazing play by anyone that you wish you had a cell phone?
Tony was a hell of a defensive player. I mean, and Chris can beat Tony, and Ivy saved so many games for whoever was on the mound just by taking away. You throw the ball, it's a hit, and then you turn up, and it's in Tony or Vance's glove, and they're turning around throwing somebody out. So either one of those two guys right there up the middle were probably guys I would always like to videotape them playing.
Nice. All right, Chris, what about you, man? You got him.
Greg Pfeiffer went to Hardin Simmons with Pat and I. And Pat, you probably remember this shot, but he hit a ball that we're playing a night game, and the ball was still going upward as it went over the lights. And those light poles were way up there. They were professional light poles at Hardin Simmons. And there was a kind of like, Tony, you're talking about Bell. Well, there was a street behind the stadium and then a row of houses. They found the ball over the houses. Wow. And I would have loved to have, seen a shot or had that on cell phone or something to see that shot again, because everyone was just completely silent. They didn't know, no one knew what to say or anything. It was just something you'd never seen before.
I gave one of those up to Monty Ferris in college. was a bomb. I didn't even look at it. And then everybody's like, yeah, I see the pine trees and the lights. It was 100 feet over that. I was like, man, good hit.
Oh wow, Pat, what about you, man? Besides that home run,
Oh man, I'm just sitting here thinking. I don't know. I mean, if I had to go cell phone days, maybe it's because my memory's a little bit closer to college. I don't know. I don't.
or you
I
know what,
suppose it's
or
just-
you could say a play that did you wish it didn't get caught, maybe an error or something funny. I'm sorry, I should have said that at the beginning, but go ahead.
Oh, I mean, so I think I shared this on the call the other day. You know, I'm playing second base, and I go out and make a dive in right field, short right field, and ball lands in my glove, and then it bounces out, and the right fielder Guerrero's coming up, and he's giving it the out single. Well, Harlan Bull's umpire calls it out, and the next day in the newspaper, there's 3 pictures in a series side by side, and the third picture shows the ball on the ground. And Harlan Boyles gave me quite a hard time the next day we played. So that was I didn't have a cell phone, but that was photographic proof there that I had a little headsy play and just Carlos in right field kind of helped me push it through the umpire.
Nice, JB.
Man, I mean, if I had a cell phone to go back, man, I know this is gonna sound corny and a little arrogant. I'm gonna give you 2. The one to get the Monterey home run to send them in extra innings against a great team. But the one I would love to have is the first time I ran on the field as a sophomore with Steph and all them. My dad was alive, and he could take a picture of that, man, because that was special with Coach Williams. And, man, that was special. I mean, Coach Williams was a different breed. Stephon knows that. And to be part of that,
Absolutely.
man, I felt like I was in college. I mean, it was great. So, wish I had a cell phone video of that, me run on the field with my dad watching.
Oh, that's cool. That's sweet.
That's
Stephon?
It doesn't involve me, this story. I was in college, and he was speaking of Monty Ferris. We had beat Oklahoma State the day before, but they were playing Texas Wesleyan. You remember Pete Incavilla was on that team.
Yeah.
And
Robin Ventura, too.
because he was a cocky son of a gun, man. He went up to bat. He hit a ball just left the county, and he turned around and walked back to the dugout. He didn't even run around the bases. And of course, they were winning by a lot of runs, and the umpire called him out, and he just shrugged his shoulders and went back and sit on the bench.
Yeah.
If I had a cell phone to catch that,
And that was Pete?
I've never seen anything like that. But hit a ball and just walked back to the dugout, and this coach didn't say one word to him at all.
Yeah, that team had
I
him,
was like, wow.
Pete,
Okay,
had
man.
Ferris, and Robin Ventura. I think he
Yeah.
had like 725 in college. I mean, he was just crazy
Yeah.
to try to get out.
Yeah, Inky
Yeah, I
hit
got to play against
40.
those guys.
He hit 41 that year. 40 or 41 home runs that year. College.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
Ridiculous.
I don't know if that
And
one
he went
counted.
straight to the
I don't think
majors.
they counted that one, Tony. But so
Yeah.
They didn't
That
count that
probably
one
would've
though.
been
He would have had
42.
42.
He went straight
Well,
to
if
the
y'all played
majors
at
too.
Oklahoma State during that time, and that was the shortest yard I've ever seen in my life.
Mm.
I mean, you could have phone go out of there. So, a
So
lot
I
of
don't know if y'all remember, but he went to the Rangers, and the first day, if anybody in Dallas knows Dale Hansen, the sportscaster there for WFAA, was interviewing him, and he was trying to figure out if this guy was really worth the first draft, pick and all that. And he was doing batting practice, and Inky got up and hit a ball so hard that it went through the left field fence and left a hole. And it's kind of like, okay, maybe he's worth it.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
Tony, what about you, brother?
Well,
Cell
I'm
phone
glad
moment.
we didn't have cell phones during the win streak. Right, Bert?
Oh yeah,
That'd have been
It was-
tragic.
Yeah,
It was probably cold too
Yeah.
those days. Just kidding, guys.
that
Yeah.
was
That would have been tragic. Hey, Bert, you remember when Ken Ozzie broke my cup? We were playing at Amarillo High, hit a ball off my cup and broke it.
I
That
do
was
remember
funny.
that. Yeah,
That was funny. Not funny for me, but funny for y'all.
Ken
Was it
Ozzie was a TCU field goal kicker, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was a heck of an athlete.
Was it
I don't
a-
know. We were playing at Gold Sox, and I saw Mike King hit a ball out of there one time, and it was ridiculous. So yeah, that would have been a good one to catch because, man, I don't even know how far it was, but I've never seen
It was
anyone
on
do
us. That's why I remember it was on us,
it.
Chris.
You remember that? A lot of people remember
Yeah,
that
it was
one.
right field.
Yeah, it's great. It was unbelievable.
Well,
Mike
Tony, was that
King
a
was
line
great
drive?
to have as a catcher because if you ever if the dugouts ever did empty on you, whoever was at the bat that was starting it, he usually would tackle them before they got to the mound. So,
Yeah.
oh, just kind of a funny story on Mike King.
Hmm.
I want to go back to Tony. Was it a line drive or is it a one hopper?
Oh, it's a one hopper, just one hop off
Right
the
underneath
cup.
glove.
Sounded like a bazooka. Picked it up, threw him out. Everybody's laughing, and then my cup was split in half.
Damn.
That'd be a pretty good target to hurt that, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Funny.
Not that I would know. I mean, we're close friends. You stay at my house when you come, but I wouldn't know that.
What are you doing at night when I'm sleeping, man? I mean, you can come in there and we can spoon,
You've got a
but you
cell
know.
phone out.
I have a video camera in your room when you stay with me, bro.
Wow, shocking.
I'm just
A little
kidding.
TMI there.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Hey, so
Hey, Flo, Jerry,
go
Do I
ahead.
know?
I said Jerry Branch asked me he had forgot his cup one day. He wanted to borrow. I always keep an extra
Oh.
in there, so I said no.
Now you're lying.
But
Now
what
you're
I'll do is I'll let you have this flower seed hole, and you can use that. That's what I told him.
Hey, it fit.
lying. Thanks, Steph.
Hey, I mean, it worked.
Hey, how many of you guys are still playing softball?
Still playing what now?
How many
Softball?
of you are still playing softball? Mhm. Just two of you? That's it?
Yeah, I'm a glutton.
Yeah, we're
for
not
punishment.
smart. We're not smart.
You playing with the younger kids or is it a senior?
Well,
league?
I did till I was about 54, but now I played seniors only. It's still, man, it keeps a little competitive urge, and it's a great league here in Amarillo. And I was playing with the Dallas team for a while in the major conference, but yeah, that's done. I'm just playing locally with a bunch of friends.
What about
Yeah,
you,
I'm
Tony?
playing.
How old are the
I'm
seniors,
still
Debbie?
playing a little co-ed with my wife, and we've got some younger people and older people. But I'm going to have my second knee replacement in a month, and so I'm done.
Oh, you got that
I'm
wiffle
retired.
ball. You got that wiffle ball tournament.
Oh yeah, man, that
League.
thing's great. I'm coaching a 12U team, and the season's over. Fall season's over next weekend. I think I'm going to set it back up in the backyard and have a little going away party for them. But yeah, we set up a little mini Fenway in the backyard, and it was great.
Hell,
That's
Kelly, you
fun.
like that? Fenway, right?
Take a picture of it and send it to me.
Will do.
For sure. Well, we're getting close to the end of our show, and so we're going to move on from the subject of baseball before you leave, because I think your classmates will want to hear this. So, who was your favorite teacher aside from your coach? If your coach was your teacher, or a teacher that left an indelible imprint or helped you or whatever? I'll start with Jerry.
Can I tell my favorite teacher? Then can I say something about each of these guys that are on tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry to take so much time. My favorite teacher, and it ain't even close, and Stefan knows her, Mrs. Alderetti. Man, she was special. Her husband ran a Wesley Community Center in the Vadio, and he was the executive director. And they sat behind our bench every game in basketball. They'd come to baseball games. Legendary couple, Mrs. Alderetti, my English teacher. She was like, man, she's amazing. They're both still alive. Sorry. But I love her like no other. So I'm on the board at Wesley over there, and she was my favorite teacher. But I want to start with Pat. Pat played with us with the Potter Randall A's this summer. I was a senior. I got to play with these college guys. His work with FCA is amazing. What he's done through the years with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Pat, I have so much respect for you. You know that. Uh, really good dude. Chris, the only way I know you, you struck me out a couple times when I was a little kid. I was little though. I was young. But man, left-hander, intimidating. Just him and that whole man when they pitch against us and them double headers, man, just nasty. Uh, Kelly, I got to know you pretty good during high school with Colin Donovan, some basketball stuff. We played basketball against each other with the short shorts, and
Yep.
man, but I got to know you a lot more through the last 2 years on social media and everything. He has the best teams, Notre Dame Irish and Boston Red Sox. So, but Kelly, you're a legend. Your dad was a legend at Emerald College, and man, a lot of respect for you through the years and love you. Tony, man, we became great friends after college and high school. We're like brothers now. He comes up and visits me. We stay. One of the greatest softball players I ever played with after baseball. Talk about that. You know, I love you. Loved your brother Corn. Love your family. Love you, brother.
Love you,
Stefan, man,
man.
what can you say? He was a legend, man. Legend in our neighborhood. Navadio, everywhere, Caprock. Best athlete I ever seen at Caprock. Took me under his wing when I was a sophomore. And I want to tell one story before we get off here. And he's going to get mad at me for this. So he had a pretty serious girlfriend in high school. And the family said, man, we need y'all to not be so serious. We need you like get away from you. Y'all can't date right now. So a little 15-year-old Jerry, Stefan asked me, hey, go pick up. I'm not gonna mention her name, Stefan. Says, hey, go pick up so and so and act like you're on a date with her, and then just whatever. And so I went to pick her up. Like date, met the parents and everything. She was older than me. I'm a little kid practically. And we leave and take her to Stefan to go out on their date. So,
Wingman.
but I'm laughing at that because Stefan and my dad were really tight. My late dad and Stefan's pretty special to me. Great leader, great guy.
Appreciate it.
Love him. But thank you for having me on tonight, and I'll shut up now.
Thank you. Kelly, how about you?
My favorite teacher is probably Miss O'Brien, English teacher. She's the one that made all the signs for the athletes to put in the lawns and help decorate. I mean, she was so involved with the athletic department, all sports, getting the pep rallies going and all that. But she was a great teacher as well. So really love Miss O'Brien, miss her.
Chris?
Me?
Yeah, Chris.
All right, mine's a little bit different, and Kelly, you can't let this go to your head. Kelly's dad, Jim Calvin, even though he was a coach, he was never a coach of ours. He was coach at Amarillo College. Kelly's brother Kevin was playing baseball with us in summer leagues, and Jim Calvin would come out and watch us practice, and he talked to our coach and said, can I work with him? And so virtually every game or every practice, Jim Calvin was pulling me off to the side and tutoring me, and tutored me pretty much for 2 years, and I learned virtually most of my mechanics, and my pickoff move that I was kind of known for with a left-handed move was Jim Calvin. And he was quite a guy, quite a man. And I can't say he was a coach because he wasn't a coach, but he was quite a tutor to me. So
yeah, he was drafted by the Pirates, so he definitely knew baseball.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Pat?
Great, thank you.
I probably go back to my middle school days. Mr. Dan Johnson was my English teacher and speech teacher, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And he was one of my biggest fans and was always encouraging, always at the games. And he's the reason I was a coach and an English teacher first thing out of college.
Wow, so he really influenced you. That's awesome.
Tony?
All right, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back a little bit. Fourth grade, Mr. Lloyd, great teacher. He used to come out and watch my football games, and this was fourth grade. So we played Kids Inc. He'd come out there on Saturday and watch me play. Really, I remember him. Second guy, J.L. Martin, seventh grade, Bonham.
I talked to him the
Huge.
other day again.
Yeah, I've talked to him like 3 times in the last 6 months. He had a huge influence on me. Huge.
He had a huge influence on anybody that he
Right.
played.
I mean, just the things. Anyway, if
That's
you
a show by
if you
itself right there.
yeah, if you knew him or played for him, we could get a bunch of people on here and talk about that. Awesome dude. Love that guy. I would say in high school, my Latin teacher, Mike Mitchison, had a pretty strong influence on me. I don't know if any of you guys took Latin, but I took 4 years of it. But I've been able to keep up with him on Facebook. But very much a work ethic kind of thing that I learned from him. So shout out to Mike Mitchison.
Very cool.
Great. Last but not least, Stefan.
You talking to me, Flo?
Yeah, Stefan.
Yeah.
Okay. Jerry Branch mentioned him a little bit earlier. His name is Mr. Alderete. He started the Wesley Community Center. I'm originally from Floydada, Texas. So
Suburb
we
of
moved
Plainview.
From Floydada to Compton, California. Imagine the culture shock there. But then I moved to Amarillo because my dad was retiring. So I'm in fourth grade, little snotty-nosed kid with an afro. He drives up and asks me, and it used to have a kind of like you remember those old station wagons that had kind of like, looks like it had plaid on them. But he asked me one day, he said, "Do you play sports?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." He says, "We've got a baseball team. Would you like to play?" And I end up playing baseball, football, basketball, everything at the West Community Center. But this gentleman taught me so much. It's kind of like a second father. Took me under his wing. I worked at the West Community Center since I was in 6th or 7th grade, all the way till I was a freshman in high school. But taught me how to be a young man, how to be respectful. Of course, my dad taught me that too. But just a class act. Was my really first baseball coach who kind of showed me fundamentals and how to be a team player. The second one would be Coach Williams. Coach Williams, to me, I mean, it kind of helped me, understand what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be and what I wanted to play. Because he also talked me into playing football, which I did not want to play. But I was lucky enough that I ended up had a pretty good career in football also. But he taught me the fundamentals of baseball, the fundamentals of being a good teammate, how to be appreciative of the people around me. And so when I went to college, because everybody's good in college. So I've seen so many guys that when they go to college, they were the studs at their high school. But when you go to college, everybody's a stud. So I've seen a lot of guys throw their backpacks and their pickups and drive home because they're not getting pats on the back anymore like they were in high school. This happens every day. But by him showing me the fundamentals, most of the kids, they were talented and they were raw. By me having the fundamentals of, how to field the ball, correct ways to do things, it got me an opportunity to keep playing. And I can never be, appreciative enough of this gentleman. He did so much for me in my career. So I would probably say those two people. And I'd have to also put in there Earl Tankersley, real good friend of mine. JB mentioned him too. Good coach, good friend, Scott's dad, that I played summer ball with him. Enjoyed playing with him. If you can ask Pat, great gentleman, great man, knows the game. But just let us have fun. And those are three people I think that were really good teachers and, that I appreciate and showed me a lot throughout the years.
Well, nice. Good. Well, guys, we're at the end, so we're going to jump into parting words. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with JB. Well, you kind of did say parting words, but
Yeah.
go ahead and do it again.
Sorry for rambling on there, but
Well,
no, I appreciate you what you're doing here. I mean, listen, a lot of guys make fun of people. Hey, why you still living in your high? This ain't living in high school years. This is appreciating what you have, what you had. You're blessed to be this age that we are now, and you're watching other people do the same thing. But man, all you guys, if one way or the other, man, it's a blessing. Thank you, Flo, for doing this. Man, you got to love it. I have a little piece of my life with all you guys, so man, I just appreciate it. Props out. I'll keep watching your show now. And Lisa, thank you for being the moderator here and probably the smartest one of the group.
Yeah,
And
I'll agree with that.
nah, so we appreciate all you guys, man. You know, y'all played a part in my life. So we'll see you soon, man. Go Irish.
Pat?
Thank-
Yeah, I would echo that. You know, people are what I've done my whole life in adult world, and so I look at the screen here, and some of you I'm closer to and have deeper memories and more memories than others. But man, I'm just thankful to get to rehash some days, to see some faces I haven't seen in a while, and the door's always open in New Braunfels, Texas. Anybody traveling the corridor, 35 corridor, so track me down and look me up, and I'll be at Texas State athletic event doing something with my FCA people. So come shout out.
Thank you, Pat. Kelly?
Yeah, again, Flo, appreciate what you're doing here, man. I've been watching your show since you and I talked, about a couple months ago. So I go and watch, what I can on that. And I talked to Dad. He's going to give you a call here tomorrow, the next day, about that possibility. But, baseball basically made my life. That was the thing that you learned. Your mistakes in baseball, you carry that over in life, and just the sport and everything. You can put that to daily uses, and I'm glad we get to talk to everybody here. Wish we could go longer. Maybe we can do a part 2 sometime. But love what you're doing.
Thank you. We'll definitely do a part 2. Chris?
I think about the era that we grew up in and in the town that we grew up in, and when you start comparing it to others outside of Amarillo and what their lifestyle was like, we had something special living in the Texas Panhandle and living in Amarillo in particular. And I don't know that it could be compared to any other place that I'm aware of, but just the camaraderie, the rivalries, but the friendships that we all have, and to carry on where it took us from high school on to college and on to adult lives. It's something that I'm always look back on saying we were very fortunate to live here at that time. So all you guys, I love you and really enjoyed being a part of your lives and striking a few of you out every now and then. So
You're welcome.
Stefan.
Hey, Flo and Lisa, thanks for inviting me on. I haven't talked to these guys in years, so it's good to see them. I've kind of, after finished playing college ball, I kind of fell off the earth because I have no social media whatsoever. My wife just, I guess, in the last 5 years got Facebook, so starting to get back acclimated. But one thing, I want to ask a question to all these guys here. Because I've enjoyed talking to you guys, and I know all of y'all, and to play ball with a lot of y'all. What would have happened, Chris, during the time when we were playing ball, if Amarillo College had a baseball team? Because we had a lot of talent there. Wouldn't you agree, Pat? In the Amarillo and the Metroplex area. What would have actually happened? We would have went off to play ball somewhere, or we would have played here, stayed at home and played?
I would add Clarendon College and Frank Phillips College too. They didn't have teams back then.
Right.
No.
If you would have taken all the talent from Amarillo, Stefan, put it together, you would have competed easy with McLennan, with San Jack, because there was so much talent in Amarillo. It was crazy. To me, to this day, I say to people, there were so many D1 ball players in Amarillo probably never even got recruited because it was Amarillo coaches really didn't go up there. They went down to the bigger cities and stuff. And it's just crazy about the talent that was there.
And I'm telling you that because I played those places. And
Yeah.
I played against all those ball players.
Yeah.
I played against all of those. And I remember guys in high school, Pat, that I played against, and they were just as talented. Maybe just didn't get the opportunity or whatever. But I'm telling you right now, we had some really, really good talent. Not just in my years, in Jerry's years and Tony's years, because, but I'm just wondering what would have happened if Amarillo College would have had a baseball team. I know WT had theirs later on, but it's kind of an interesting question. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You see, Wayland now has a baseball team. Probably 20 years now, I think, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Coach Bass.
Plainview.
Martin Simmons went there.
Okay. So, all right, Tony, you're the last dude.
Well, hey, Flo and Lisa, thanks so much for having us old Amarillo guys on. The older I get, the more special this is. And like Jerry said, it's not living in the past. It's just, getting to see the guys. Most of these guys I know. Me and Stefan played college baseball together. Me and JB, golly, how many softball games did we play together? Tournaments, crazy stories. Just, that's another show. Kelly and Chris, we played golf together at times. Pat, I don't know you as well, but I remember playing against you for sure. So, it's really, really great to be able to reconnect and just share the stories because, we just we don't have unlimited time on the earth, right? So to be able to share this together, it really means a lot. So we appreciate you guys.
Cool. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Oh, before Lisa says ours, guys, anytime. I definitely want a Caprock baseball show. I want Amarillo High. I want Tascosa or football, basketball, cheerleader, whatever it may be, guys. Don't hesitate reaching out to Lisa and I to put you guys on again. In a different group, man. We would love that. We would love that because Lisa and I love what we're doing. We have front row seats to the best stories, man. It was a time we grew up, and it's beautiful. Even though we hated Amarillo and Lubbock and sports and Hereford, but no, man, it's seeing you guys together after that, and you guys became good friends. Pretty cool. That's really cool. So we didn't have that luxury in Plainview because we were just one school. Hereford was one school. You and Lubbock and Amarillo had that great opportunity to become friends after baseball. So even though you guys played against each other. So, but anyway, anytime, guys, join us. Lisa.
Well, I wanted to mention a couple of things. First of all, I agree with you, JB. This is not about, trying to relive anything. Part of this passion project is helping bring to light the things that were fun during growing up. Because like you said, Tony, life is short. Our days are numbered, and we're all over 60. So, we're on the other side.
Hey, I got one more year.
I'm only 59. Come on now.
I'm only 59, but I've got
Remember, I was like 12 when I
That's
was
Bobby Bobby's got the body of a 75-year-old. Man.
Hey, remember, I was 12 years old when I battled Chris Burtz. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, we're at the upper end of middle age, okay?
There we go.
The upper end of middle age, and life is short, and it's fun to go back and reminisce about a time that was far more innocent than what it is today. Social media just kind of changed the way kids function today. Mm-hmm. And these memories are really special because I agree. And I've mentioned this every show. Growing up in the Panhandle in the 70s and 80s, where we all grew up, was a really unique and special experience. And, how lucky we all were to be there during that era. Going back to sports, was a huge sports fanatic, and sports teaches a lot of things: work ethic, integrity, cooperation, collaboration, respect for others, respect for yourself. And it's very evident through your stories how much baseball really influenced your lives and made you the men that you are today. And it's just been very, like Michael said, we get a front row seat to these unique and special stories and memories. And we're just so fortunate that you've agreed to come on the show and hang out with each other and hang out with us. And it's been very joyful to hear your memories, your friendships, and how much you respect that you have for each other. It's very touching and heartwarming. And I know that anybody who's watching tonight or who will watch the recording is going to have the same takeaway. So thanks so much. We really appreciate it.
Well, I've got to say this. Sorry, Lisa, but we had a stud in '84 from Plainview, and she was married to him. You want to mention the person's name?
Yeah, and that's why I was asking about the BJs, because I lived a summer in Liberal, Kansas. I was married to Ronnie Ortegon, so I lived the baseball field.
Yeah.
That was an old baseball field there in Liberal.
Yeah, he was definitely stud main guy. I remember from Plainview, but I love their passion for sports.
Yeah.
Was Galen McSpadden still coaching the BJs at that time?
Who?
Galen McSpadden.
You're mute, Pat.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. The reason I asked earlier if anybody had hit anybody intentionally, because when we were at LCC, I'd go out to the ball field all the time and shag balls with the guys. I played softball for a long, long time. And when I was a young kid, I was probably good enough to play on a baseball team. But anyway, a pitcher whose name I will not mention, who went on to have a big career in the major leagues, got really pissed off because I could hit his fastball. And he got really angry and he hit me intentionally.
You got to say his name.
I cannot. I will
Come
not.
on.
Must be a Yankee. Must be a Yankee.
All the players they just jumped him like, what the hell? You don't hit a girl.
That's a Yankee move right there for sure.
Yeah, I had a big old, hematoma on the side of my thigh for a while. It hurt. It hurt.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Okay. I hit his fastball.
So are you available for a co-ed tournament next week? No, I'm just kidding.
She lives in Dallas.
I'm like Tony. I've hung it up. I've got 2 artificial hips and 2 knee reconstructions. So my days of running anything are over.
Well, guys, again, thank you all.
Hey,
Thank you all
Lisa.
again for coming on. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said,
Really enjoyed it, guys.
A ball player by the name of Hector Limon.
Hector Limon.
Yeah. I know Hector very well.
Was it Benavides?
He's a buddy of mine.
Was it Benavides?
Hector. He was asking about Hector Limon.
I know, but Benavides played for Estacado that year too, and he was a damn good pitcher.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, hey guys, thank y'all. And again, yeah, absolutely, part 2. Hey man, I'll put in the date in February, March. We can do it. But going back, one more thing is, I'm glad we grew up in that era because we were outside all the time playing. All the time. I mean, my mom would yell, literally, it's time to come home. It's getting dark, eat dinner. Now kids are on this shit, and they're not getting out hardly anymore. A lot of them are getting fat, even though we don't have the technology we had back then, I wouldn't trade it. I would still love to, grow up in the '80s. So,
we're in the era of doughy kids.
Yes,
best era ever.
Yeah. Well, guys, good night.
80s.
Yeah. Well,
Yes,
guys,
sure.
let's go ahead and say good night. It's getting late for me. Some of us still have to work, but go. All right, brothers. Thank y'all. And we'll try to find that video of that streak. You guys wish to get the Amarillo guys to, do.
There's no video of that.
No video.
Thank God.
No kidding.
All
right, fellas.
right, guys. Appreciate it.
Peace out, boys.
Hey, enjoyed it, fellas.
Did
Yes.
too.
Good night.
Hey, Chris,
I'm
Oklahoma
going to
sucks.
start kicking everybody out. Thank y'all. Good night.
Nice talking to
Whatever,
you.
dude.
Oklahoma sucks.
Yeah. Bite me.
That's funny.
Well, hold on. Let me remove the last person. And okay, they're gone. That was good. It was.
Oh, that was so fun.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
And it's good to hear the perspective from from other schools.
Yeah, from a
You know,
complete, yeah, for sure.
and it's pretty cool. It's a lot of these guys that became, there were competitors, and now they're great friends. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, and again, we didn't have that luxury because we only had one school, so our friends were our friends. Now,
Yeah,
I would
but
love to choose another. I would love to choose some other friends to trade them for some I have now. Sorry, guys, for others.
no, but now we need to do the same thing with all the baseball players from the Lubbock schools.
Oh yeah, oh, trust me, we tried that with Kent Metter from Coronado and Kent Park. Kent tried. He reached out to several of his players, and none of them. They just ghosted it on the. He sent him a message to like 6 guys, and none of them, none. Even though I would send a reminder and asking them, nothing. So the more our go ahead.
Maybe word will get around after this show.
I was just going to say that.
Yes.
Yes.
Some players to want to come on because it would be really fun to hear their perspective of Amarillo.
Absolutely.
Amarillo, yeah, that would be so much fun. So, hey, if you're from Lubbock and you play baseball and you're watching this show tonight or in the future, get some people together. That would be kind of fun.
Yes, and Amarillo people. Like I mentioned, we'd love for you to be on the show. If you have cheerleaders, twirlers, rodeo. or just your friends. Come join us. We'd love to have you on, and we'd love to hear your stories, your memories from way back when. So I know that Angie, I think I pronounced it correctly. She said night, y'all. Definitely, Angie. If you come on the show, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, gather your friends and come hang out.
So next week we don't have a show, but we might have one Thursday, and I'll talk to you after we get off air.
Okay.
So all right, guys. Good night. Peace and love. So we'll see you guys soon. Good night.